Full cycle of microphone setup. One, check the speaker parameters for suitability for setting up the application. This is the speaker system which is connected to our computer. Let's check the model of the speaker system. We search for its parameters in Internet. Two, verifying that when playing an audio track, the equalizer of computer or music center is not turned on and cannot distort the test signal. We check if the equalizer is used, and if it is used by audio player, then we should disable it. 3. Setting of equalizer on the speaker system in zero position. Typically, this is required if the speaker system is active. We check the equalizer on the active speaker system and set it to the zero position. 4. Finding the optimal distance from the speaker system to the smartphone. Usually it is 25-30 centimeters. At first we should say that in front of acoustic system must be free space, not less than 1, 5 or 2 meters. This will help to avoid reflection of sound and distortion of the setting. So, we found the very place that we needed to configure the microphones of the smartphone. It seems that here is optimal sound. As we said, it's about 30 centimeters from our acoustic system. The sound should be loud enough, clear, it should hammer in all the noise that can be around. Now, when the distance is determined, we will begin to set up the microphones. We will configure 3 microphones, internal, external, and wired microphones, and we'll check them, according to our method, using the arrow indicators. Why do we use these indicators? Because these indicators are balancing between 2 ranges. They compare signals of high and low frequency ranges. And for us, it is important to have these ranges to be adjusted evenly and without big distortions. Therefore, when these indicators stand near the middle of the scale, we understand that at the right moment they will perfectly perform their function. So, the distance is selected, the smartphone is in the right place, and we begin setup. At first, we set up the internal microphone, so our smartphone is turned to the speaker with its microphone, in order to better perceive the signal. The sound volume of the acoustic system should be set so that we can see the picture of sound at about 30% of the scale height. So, the setup of the internal microphone is complete, and we start setting up the external microphone. Of course, at first, you need to check that it works with your smartphone in principle. In the menu, we select an external microphone and select its setting. We turn the smartphone's microphone towards the speaker system and start tuning. Now the setup of the external microphone is complete, and we proceed to set up the wired microphone. We place a wired microphone on the same place where the microphone was in the previous times. The position of the phone itself is not important. It is important that the microphone is in the right place. We put smartphone and mic side by side, just to see the setting. Let's continue tuning. Setup is complete. Wired microphone tuned a little worse. Apparently, its parameters are slightly worse, but not significant. Now we turn on the test signal with the sounds of bees. This signal is certainly ideal. Actually, there are more noises and other signals in the hive. But, using it we can compare the settings of our microphones.
Стандартный контроль общего состояния на коротком диапазоне, 15 секунд, покажет нам картину. Диаграммы должны быть максимально близкие.
Pay attention to the form of the diagram. It should be something like this in all cases. While changing the microphones, it is necessary to connect appropriate microphone setting. This is extremely important.
Здесь настройка немного нам увеличила вентиляцию. Можно еще раз попробовать перенастроить. Микрофон, как правило, слышит лучше. Итак,
all settings are done. Now you can work with this device. But there is one more nuance. The point is that our speaker system is quite good. Its frequency response is linear since the frequency of 65 Hz. Our application analyzes frequencies from 70 Hz, although we are starting to adjust from 50 Hz. That means, in our case, the last left band and corresponding equalizer slider do not significantly affect our analysis. But in principle, If the speakers are not perfect, and they are usually not ideal, then we need to make another stage of tuning, about which we in principle told you. So, it would be necessary, in the settings section of each microphone, in complete silence, to see how the last left columns of the equalizer diagram behave. These 2 or 3 columns show compensation by our program of the poor quality of the microphone. But, unfortunately, the loudspeakers of acoustic systems are of poor quality too, and this adds distortion too. Even in our case there is a small bar on the diagram on the left, and we must equalize it with the rest of the diagram in complete silence.
Вот так.
So, now the picture is perfect.
Это идеально.
The same thing you need to do in the settings of the other microphones, but we will not repeat it again. Do not forget that during this procedure, to the smartphone should be connected the appropriate microphone, or do it immediately, during the configuration process.
Внешнего до проводного.
In addition, I want to clarify that when setting up microphones, the selected season does not matter winter or summer, and time of day or night. These parameters are not used in the setup, and what is chosen for the season and the time does not matter. The only thing is that, if you use the sound of bees, and you want to have the correct text diagnostics, then you should use day and summer. You will see the red and the white mugs.